It's Tuesday, April 21st, and you're watching The Night Beat. Good evening, folks, and a very pleasant Tuesday to you all. I'm Frank Stottle, and our guest tonight was a finalist for the 1992 Herschel Borowski Award and a two-time nominee for the Arby's Team Spirit Trophy. This weekend, he'll be signing autographs at the Three Rivers Boat and RV Show, former University of Pittsburgh defensive lineman Bob Gore.
Thanks for having me, Frank. It's good to be here.
Bob, the first thing I wanted to ask about is how you became so interested in boats and RVs.
Since I was a kid, everyone likes boats, I guess. I never owned anything bigger than a canoe myself, and RVs look kind of fun too, and I was asked to appear and thought it would be a good idea to do it, so, no, I guess I don't really have any particular interest in boats or RVs.
Okay, and let's just remind our viewers of the time and location of your appearance, and if they want to attend.
Well, it's at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center from Friday through next Sunday, and I'll be there Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. each day.
What are the exact dates I'm contractually obligated to,
Let me see. I don't know off the top of my head here. Let's see. Today's the 21st, so 22nd, 23rd. Friday would be the 24th. Wait, add 10. May 4th? No, wait.
I think the 4th's a Saturday because I actually have a thing and...
No, wait, I did that wrong. It's the 3rd. No. It's the 3rd.
I saw they're setting up the exhibits for that now. Did you get any kind of sneak preview you can share with our viewers?
No, they're not letting me in until noon on Saturday. They told me to look for a guy named Ben at the vendor entrance. There's more details, but I left my information at home.
Now, I know a lot of viewers are wondering, is the new Sea Red 6 ski boat really that much better than the Sea Black? I mean, is it worth the upgrade?
Yes, once you drive the Sea Red, you won't know you were able to stand driving the Sea Black for all these years.
Do you think that has mostly to do with the additional options? I see here it has satellite radio, increased cargo room, stronger cleats, or is it more to do with the modest increase in horsepower and beam?
I think it's just one of those total package kind of things.
Now, I know your thing now is boats, but I hope you don't mind if I delve into the past with some football-related questions.
Oh, no, not at all.
I know you got to work with a lot of great people during your 4 years at Pitt, but to me, that name that stands out is Paul Hackett. What is it like to play for a coaching legend like him?
I don't know. It's not like I've played for a lot of coaches or anything. All I'm going to say is that I was a standout player on several lousy teams, and I probably wouldn't have gotten as much playing time at a more competitive school.
Do you have any regrets?
What? I'm not even sure how to answer that. I wouldn't say I have any regrets. If I could do it all over again, I would have avoided that 1-quarter suspension I got after poking Leon Searcy in both eyes. And I certainly wouldn't have punted the ball into the band after the loss at West Virginia. The team had to pay to repair that guy's tuba. I felt pretty bad about that one, but all in all, I enjoyed my time at Pitt, and I got a quality education out of it.
Interesting. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to open up the phone lines, so don't go anywhere.
With my overreactive bladder, I couldn't enjoy the same activities that I used to. But now, since my doctor prescribed me BladdaCare, I have my life back again.
Ask your doctor about BladdaCare. And we're back. This evening on The Night Beat, we're talking to former Pitt defensive lineman Bob Gore. If you'd like to talk to Bob, the number is 412-999-0086. Let's go to Dave in Uniontown. Dave, you're on The Night Beat.
Hey, Frank. Good to see you again. Bob, I was just wondering if you remember the October 19th, 1991 game against Syracuse. Cuse was 3rd and 5 on your 35-yard line with about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. and you guys ran a corner blitz, and the safety couldn't get back to the uncovered receiver in time, and Q's ended up getting a 20-yard gain and scoring a game-winning touchdown on that drive. I was wondering if you think that a zone blitz would have been better there, because the guard pulled a little crisscross to the left and there was a lane open there, and you could have used it to get to the quarterback if you weren't tied up covering the tailback. I'm going to hang up and listen to your response.
Should you have called a zone blitz there?
Well, Dave, I obviously don't call the plays, but no, I don't have a problem with that call. If you remember, 2 plays before that, we did call a zone blitz and got burned when the offense audibled into a too tight and set and ran a bootleg alley-oop dink and dunk up the Susquehanna seam that we just couldn't defend against. When you're trying to run press coverage, you always run the risk that the outside linebacker's foot might be pointing the wrong way. So it was best there that we give them as many different looks as possible. Although in hindsight, I would have run the play where we line up with 10 men on the field and have the 11th guy run out of the tunnel behind the line of scrimmage, but there's no do-overs in football.
Okay. Dan in Castle Shannon. Dan, you're on the night beat.
Hey, Bob, about 20 years ago, I was at the game at Pitt Stadium. I went to the car halfway through the third quarter to get a pack of cigs, and the guy stamped my hand so I could get back in, but it was raining and the stamp washed off. I ended up missing the rest of the game because they wouldn't let me back in.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, is there any way I could get some kind of refund for that?
Bob, can you get a refund?
I can't really answer that. I mean, I wasn't even still playing then. And that would probably be a question for the customer relations office.
Yeah, but you don't have some kind of pool down there, Good to bat for me? I mean, I paid a scalper $10 for those tickets.
No, I haven't talked to anyone down there in years, so your best bet is to call.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, we have to cut that out. Sorry, listeners. Okay, moving on. Shannon North Hills, you're on the night beat.
Hey, Bob, I just wanted to say I remember in the locker room after your last game, Johnny Sire asked you what you were doing after graduation, and you told him, well, my major's in journalism or something. I was just wondering, why didn't you go to the NFL? Because I thought you were a pretty good player and would have liked to see you on the Steelers.
Bob, why didn't you go to the NFL?
Well, for me, football was more a way of paying for school than anything else. I wasn't really that highly regarded by scouts in the NFL, so I never really considered it. I don't regret my decision, though, because my journalism career opened up many opportunities. In 2000, I circumnavigated the globe via blimp, and I have worked as a real cowboy for a story, and I got to live among African...
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you, Bob, because we only have time for one more caller. Rick in Bethel Park, you're on the night beat.
Hello, this is Rick Dobski.
Rick, I'm going to have to ask you to turn down your television.
That's right, I turned up the television so I could hear you.
No, Rick, please turn down your television.
Oh, sorry, is that better?
Yes, thank you. Did you have a question for Bob?
Oh, yes. I'm the assistant scoutmaster for local Boy Scout troop here in Bethel Park. 2 Saturdays from tomorrow, the district is having a sports and athletic camporee at Mingo Creek Park. And on behalf of Troop 287 and the South Hills District, we would be honored if you would be willing to ask Kervin Richards to come and talk to the boys.
What do you think, Bob? Will you do it?
I don't actually have Kervin's phone number or even know if he still lives in the area, but yeah, if I run into him, I guess I'll ask him.
Rick, if you could stay on the line and give your contact information to our producer, we'll make sure Bob has it in case he runs into Kervin Richards. Well, I'd like to thank you, Bob, for joining us.
It's been a real pleasure, Frank.
And let's not forget about the Boat and RV show.
Right, that's next Friday through next Sunday, and I'll be there Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5.
All right, let's hope all our viewers can attend. We're almost out of time, but I still have the last word coming up after the break.
The medical malpractice attorneys at Johnson, Johnson & Johnston have a combined 11 years of experience. For your free consultation, call 1-888-JOHNSON. That's 1-888-JOHNSON.
And now, my Stottle stand. Tonight we talked about boats and football, and that's a lot of fun and games. But you know what's not all fun and games? car accidents. We all know what it's like to be out driving on a bright, beautiful Saturday afternoon when that perfect song comes on the radio and we can't help but drum on the steering wheel along with the music. Well, this week we learned that PennDOT now estimates that drumming on the steering wheel is responsible for nearly 6% of all accidents involving only one vehicle. So please, refrain from beating on the steering wheel, or if you must, pull over or wait for a red light until you're through. It could mean your safety and the safety of others. And that'll do it for the Night Beat tonight. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night when I'll be speaking to the COO of one of the biggest wholesale produce distributors in the tri-state area. Tony Cox of AgCon Fruit and Vegetable is our guest. Until then, good night.